Hello everyone, this is my first weekly update video for 2352 Intro to Contemporary Logic. I'll be posting these videos, as the name would imply, once a week, usually on Friday afternoons. This will provide some important information for y'all, so do pay attention when they pop up. We're talking a little bit about some things we should be doing and some things we're finishing up that week, as well as some things to look ahead and important due dates to keep in mind as we're going forward. So this first week, everybody went ahead and those who are registered for the course completed those orientation assignments in a quick fashion, and I appreciate that from y'all. I didn't have to chase anybody, which is great. So the first two content units, Unit 1 and Unit 2, are open for everybody. We did have assignment from each of those that are due tonight. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. But just in terms of the content here, Unit 1 dealt with key types of, key terms when we're talking about the analysis of arguments here. First, what arguments are and how they're defined. And then secondly, what statements are and key types of statements within the context of arguments, namely premises and conclusions, identifying those. Unit 2 here deals with logical form and argumentative form there. We talk about two key types of argumentative form, deductive and inductive, as well as the qualities of each. With deductive, we have valid and invalid. With something like inductive, we have strong and weak there. That's, again, the content there, and we do have two exercises associated with each of those. Exercise 1.1, where we're taking, in this case, a collection of statements and asking whether or not it constitutes an argument. Exercise 1.2, where we're taking ordinary sentences there and asking whether it constitutes a statement. And again, we're going to be applying the definitions we talked about with arguments and statements both. With arguments, we need premise, conclusion, and logical form. With statements, they need to be declarative, factual, and in principle verifiable. If it has those three things, then it is either an argument or a statement. If not, then that's what we're going to be answering in terms of why it's not an argument or a statement. So keep that in mind as you're going through those. Exercise 1.3 and 1.4 are in Unit 2. 1.3, what we're doing is identifying, given a series of bona fide arguments there, whether it's deductive or inductive. And 1.4 deals a little bit more with inductive arguments principally, and specifically the quality of each of those. Of those, really 1.4 is going to be the toughest part for most of y'all, I imagine, or at least historically it has been. For many of you, if you did take critical thinking, this might be familiar to you with me or some other jabroni either way, because we do spend a lot of time with inductive argument analysis there within critical thinking. We're going to be doing precious little work on inductive arguments through the rest of the semester, I'll be honest. Since critical thinking deals a lot with inductive arguments, there's redundancy in the curriculum. So with this class, I shifted a little more closely towards deductive arguments specifically. So as a consequence, right, we're going to be dealing almost exclusively with deductive arguments the rest of the semester. So this is a quick and cursory look here at some key factors here with inductive arguments. But again, it won't be the mainstay in terms of what our course is going to be about here. Keep in mind, I do talk a little bit in those videos about the weaknesses and vulnerabilities of different types of inductive arguments. So do try and use those when you're getting through exercise 1.4 especially. And there with your justification, make sure we provide a reason. Don't give me that just because premise doesn't mean conclusion sort of vague justification there, right? Provide a reason why the premise doesn't support that conclusion. And a lot of what we're doing there is kind of tweaking your intuitions on that in general. So those assignments, Units 1 assignment, 1.1 and 1.2, and as well as the Unit 2 assignment, 1.3 and 1.4, are due tonight, June 5th. I've had several people already submit the Unit 1 assignment, which is great. I also saw some Unit 2 assignments starting to come in as of this morning, so that's great also. So I'm glad that you guys are getting those in. So far, I've been able to turn around all the assignments within a 24-hour window. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that pace up through the entire semester, especially when resubmits start flying in and things like that. But for the most part, right now, I've been able to give very quick feedback for everybody. Do take a look at that feedback. If you do have it graded already, keep in mind, right, I do give some kind of forest of the trees overview feedback there, a paragraph or two on what needs to be improved. And then look at the full rubric, because each and every one, for which I mark wrong, if it's fine. I just say good job or something like that. But if I do, in this case, take points off, I will always put something in there and explain a little bit on what I found is satisfactory with that response. And in many cases, I'll give examples of what I'm looking for and things like that. So that's very helpful to be looking at when you're kind of revising these. As you're probably aware by now, starting tonight at midnight, we have our resubmission window starting for Units 1 and Units 2. Through next week, next Friday, June 12th, you are able to revise and resubmit your assignments as many times as you'd like in order to improve your score. Keep in mind, when you are resubmitting the assignment, please submit the entire assignment. So just edit up the Word document or whatever you went ahead and completed it in, and just resubmit that. I have some people who just resubmit the ones they got wrong, but I need to regrade the whole thing. So please submit the entire assignment there, right, including the ones you got correct, so that I can go ahead and just kind of mark those off that you did get those correct. We will have, again, as many times as you'd like to resubmit your work within a 1-week window up through June 12th. Go ahead whenever you get your feedback there, just go ahead and look through it, think through some of the ones you got wrong, go ahead and resubmit those. And again, I've been turning those around very quickly. I'm not sure, again, if I'm going to keep the pace of 24 hours, but I'd say within 2 days, definitely, because we only have about 7 people in the course, so it should be a very little excuse to get these back in a reasonable fashion, let's kind of put it that way. So we will also have Unit 3, which is opening tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Unit 3 is our first look here at symbolic logic. What we're going to be doing is taking ordinary language statements and transferring them into symbolic form and learning a little bit about how to do that. This will kind of emphasize the connection between the logic that we're going to be learning and the language that you're familiar with, that connection between logic and language, as it were. And one thing to keep in mind with these, when we are dealing with a formal sense here of these statements, formal logic specifically, we do use variables there, right? These variables, some people bug out about them, right? Because variables are used in math, and I'm not good at math, or something like that. Keep in mind here, the variables that we will be using do not stand for numbers. They stand for statements. They stand for thoughts, principally. So what we're after here is language, not necessarily mathematics, even though, again, algebra does use variables. They're not the same sort of variables, and they are not doing the same thing as we're going to be doing with our variables here. Very precious little calculation will be involved in any part of this course as we're going along. But that will be opening tomorrow, like I said, at 8 a.m. We do have an assignment which will be due next Friday, June 12th. And that will deal again, it's a little bit longer than the previous ones, but generally speaking, it should go pretty quickly, hopefully. If you have any additional questions, if they're pragmatics or course questions, go ahead and put those in the course pragmatics discussion thread. That will be under the orientation assignments there, right? And that will be open through the entire semester. Likewise, if you have any content questions with regard to Units 1, 2, 3, etc., or any one as we're going along, go ahead and bring that to the appropriate discussion board that's linked under the units themselves. And if you go under discussions there, you can see the whole list there, Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3. Just go ahead and put that relevant to which unit we're talking about, right? So if it's a question about deductive and inductive, go ahead and post it to Unit 2. If it's a question about modus ponens, right, let's put it in Unit 5, whatever it may be, et cetera, et cetera. So if you have any additional questions, please do bring them to the discussion board or hit me up an email. I'll be happy to chat a little bit more. Keep in mind, as we're going along, I'm also available for individual meetings. So if for some reason you got your feedback and you're still not clear on what to do, go ahead and shoot me an email, and we'll set up a virtual meeting, right, a web conference meeting, and we can kind of chat through any questions you may have or anything like that. I'm happy to provide that for y'all as we're going along. If you have any additional questions, do let me know. If not, let's get to work on Unit 3 when it opens next week, and I look forward to seeing what you did with Units 1 and 2.